I just thought I'd do a little review on my custom Ruger Vaquero. I did all the custom work myself, which was a big pain in the butt, but first time I ever did it, I did about probably 4 besides this one, after this one. So I did quite a bit of work. It was quite labor intensive. I probably got about, counting the price of the gun, probably about $900, $400 worth of parts thereabouts. I changed the, I'll go through the parts. I changed the hammer spring, trigger spring, the prowl, hammer, cylinder, and I had to custom fit that, and the cylinder pin and the lower frame. The lower frame is a brass frame, as you can see if the videos show it. It is brass, the lower part. When I bought that, I had to custom fit that because everything comes oversized. Everything sticks out more. It's oversized. So you got to file and mill down, and it's kind of trial and error because you have to try it and fit it to get it right. And it was kind of a pain in the butt, but it was something that I wanted to try. And these guns do have a few parts in them. They're not really difficult. They go in certain ways. It can be pretty difficult to get some of the stuff in, which I basically learned on that. So I did change the cylinder, which that's a custom. These guns are unloaded. You can see the cylinder is engraved. I think it's got Texas on it right there, and we can see that. I bought that off of eBay before eBay stopped selling gun related items. Anything that fires a gun they can't sell no more. So I actually got the frame off of there too, and the cylinder and the hammer. You can see the hammer is bent up more. It's for slap cocking. In other words, you hold it down and slap cock it, and fan it, which can be hard on the gun if you you got to do certain things to keep from damaging the gun. Whereas on this is a Ruger Vaquero. This is a new Vaquero. You can see the difference in the hammer, and they did do a real good job on this one. I didn't have to do too much to this. I changed, I think, the grips and a hammer, a lighter hammer and trigger spring, and that's about it. And this gun, if you look at it, it's almost identical to a Colt. You can't hardly tell everything. It weighs just a touch more than a Colt, not much, but they did a real good job on the lockup. The old Vaquero wouldn't line up. They'd always line up off center. If you went too far, you'd go around. This one lines right dead up. Whereas this one here didn't line up right, but I did change the prowl in it, which is the prowl is what moves the cylinder up and down. This one, if you can see it, will spin either way. You can spin it. It is free spins. As a matter of fact, it's called a free spin prowl anyways. But it also keeps them scratching. There's a little scratch there, but keeps them scratching the thing, the cylinder up. But it's you can see it's engraved here. I think it's Texas, and it's got some scrolling on it. It's a pretty nice cylinder. I got it off eBay. I think I paid $150 for this, and I paid $40 for the hammer. And bought them both off eBay, the frame off eBay. These grips, a really nice grip. They're actually called, it's maple, but it's called spalted maple. I had no idea what spalted maple was when I seen these. I just liked the way they look, so I looked it up. You can look it up on the internet, spalted maple. Actually what it is, they take and let the wood set out, and let the microorganisms get in the wood, and that's how you get all the designs. And you got to catch it at a certain time, and then they take it and make different things out. They make more than grips. They make some really nice stuff. You can look up stuff on the internet that tells you, I mean, they make some pretty stuff. I paid, I think, near $100 for them grips. I believe that's what it was. Anyway, getting back to the custom part, I had to custom fit the foot cylinder and the pin. So I got a custom, that's the lock, your lock for the pin. I put a heavier spring in that, and a custom cylinder pin. And I milled the end off here so I could actually get this out without removing the guard on the ejector. And it's got a lock on it. I never did use that lock. You could drill a hole up in there and where to lock it right in. Sometimes you fire heavy rounds and it'll blow this pin out. They won't on this one. And this gun here opposes the new Vaquero. This is the first Vaquero. This will shoot some heavy loads. I mean, I got some loads that's approaching 44 Magnum. I need about 1,260 feet per second. It will shoot them. Now, regular Colt, you can't shoot heavy loads in them. I think it's about 900 feet per second. You'll blow them up. This is a much stronger gun than a Colt. In my opinion, it's a better gun than a Colt. For that reason, this one here, the frame is not as strong. You can see it's not as heavy, but this one here will fire heavier rounds than the Colt. Probably not as heavy as this one, but it will fire heavier rounds. I'm timing this video because I could talk for an hour on this probably. Anyway, I'm going to do it. To take it down, you just click the pin and click it out. Open the loading gate. And I hope I'm getting this in frame. Take this out and everything drops out. But you can see the cylinder. Now I had to mill all the timing. I had to mill all of this and set the timing for the cylinder so the cylinder lines up right. I also had to, you can see it, the cylinder lockup, which is right there. You can see that. I had to fit that because that's custom too. I had to fit all of that in there, which is real time consuming. Probably the hardest two things I did was fitting this frame because it was all oversized. And if you'll notice, it don't have any Ruger, I'm getting talk now, logo on the side, which this one does. I'm telling you right now, I'll never do that again by hand because it's easier to take it off and have a gunsmith turn it. But then you got to remove the sights and all that junk. I actually draw filed this and took all of it. It took a long time. I mean, I got quite a few hours, and then polished it. I'll never do that again. I thought my hands were going to fall off. And fitting this was labor intensive. And I polished all the parts, internal parts, stoned and polished them. Put this back in here. I do have a custom, I have a 45 ACP barrel that goes on this too. So you can shoot 45 ACPs to it. Shoots pretty good in 45 ACP. See, so anyway, I stoned all the parts and removed this, and I had to fit that lower frame. That was quite a chore there. But other than that, that was my first one I did. I think I did 4 more. Well, one of them was mine. I got a Ruger Blackhawk that I did too. If you'll notice the lockup on this, you have to time all this. Most Rugers, they'll come back and they'll leave a little play so the cylinder lock up, but this has no play at all. It just locks just as soon as it hits, and it's tight. And I fit this pin too. That comes oversized also. So you got to fit that to the cylinder. But it locks up. I mean, it's tight. It's rock solid tight. And this one, the new Vaquero, I was really surprised at the lockup on this, because it don't have the free spin, but it locks up just as good as that done. I didn't do nothing to this. So they did their homework on that one. A little bit of play there, but not much. Both guns shoot great. Well, I'm getting at about a 10-minute mark. I'm going to have to hurry up. I'll show you my holster here. I customized this holster. It's a fast draw holster. I bought this holster off of eBay from a guy in London, England, of all places. I didn't know they had fast draw holsters over it. It's made by a saddle company. King Leather Saddlery Company. And this is a completely steel lined holster. I mean, everything is steel. It's got steel in it. The whole holster is steel. You could actually, which I don't fire live rounds on fast draw, but if you did, it would stop a bullet. It's thick enough to shoot the bullet out the bottom if you got on too quick. But the only thing I didn't do, I did everything to this gun that Bob Munnan, I don't know if you know, Bob Munnan is a fast draw king, and he does custom gunware. I did everything to this that he does, except, and I couldn't find one, there's a cylinder block that goes inside here for the lockup, because if you slap cock it repeatedly, it will loosen. It will get loose, and that's from and you don't get sloppy here, so it don't line up right. But I don't slap cock it that much anyway. But I would have put it in if I could find one. I was going to make one, but I don't have a machine to do it. But anyway, this is my first custom gun, and it shoots great. It's pretty accurate. It'll shoot heavy loads. You don't want to shoot heavy loads in a Colt. This one would probably shoot them same loads, but I mean, it wouldn't blow up or nothing, but I wouldn't shoot quite as hot of loads then. I just shoot standard loads in this. But you could make them a little hotter if you want. The frame is not quite as heavy. This one is heavier gun, but it's really strong. It's much stronger than a Colt. And it's got the coil springs and everything in it. And the action after I worked on it is just as smooth as glass. But anyway, that's about it. And hope you enjoyed the video. That's a real good gun. I got, like I said, I probably got 900. I may have more than that. I think I got more than that because I didn't add the frame in. Right at $1,000 probably. I thought it was 900, probably about 1,000. But it's a good gun. I love single actions. I got 6 of them, I think. Quick draw holsters. And I did do a little quick draw shooting, but my hands is getting pretty stiff now. I just do it for fun once in a while now. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it.